Alright, so what we got here is the Kia Carnival side window, and I'll show you right here. See how it's dropping? I'll open it in a second so you can have a better look. What I'm going to try and do today is take this window out without pulling all the trims inside apart to get this part here off, and just take the glass out, clean it up, do a repair of double-sided tape, and put it back in. You can see that the window's dropping there when you open it, and it pulls in tight at that end there, so it closes up and it's alright. But the more you use it, the more it's breaking free, and what's happening is it's coming away from that double-sided tape that's in there. So I should be able to take this glass out without removing this, hopefully. See how we go anyway. Okay, so first of all, before I go undoing the screw that's on the other side of this, I just put some duct tape on there. Don't want no surprises of the window dropping and smashing. That'll be the last thing we want. So that's just to secure the window, so when I undo that screw it's not going to fall down on me. And we'll get that screw out, and we'll be able to remove this window. So that's the screw I'm talking about there. Once I remove that, I can pull that window out. So you can see that it's out there, window's ready to come out. I can't do this while recording, so I'm going to have to take it out first and then give you a look. Okay, well, it's not double-sided tape like I thought it was. It's actually silicone that's bonding all this together. So I'm going to roughen these points up, and I'm going to use black silicone to put it all back together. Because silicone is nice and wet, slippery when you first put it in. It will help with sliding it into here. So I'm going to clean this whole edging here up first, and roughen that up so silicone's got more of something to bite onto. That looks like stainless, so that should have been roughened up before they did that anyway, because anybody who's worked with stainless knows that silicone doesn't like to stick to stainless unless it's been roughed up. So we'll get that all roughed up, and show you this here, the silicone points here. So I'm just going to give them a good clean, and I'm going to apply silicone back on this side, so when it all squashes together it's going to pull nice and tight. Okay, so now this is all cleaned up, the stainless steel's roughened up on both, we're good to go there. So just one other thing that's going to go in here now, that's the glass. That's all cleaned up as well, I've already done that, but I've noticed that at some points there's silicone along the edges of the glass here. So I'm going to get a razor and just trim that off, so it's a nice smooth slide back into that. I'll call it a runner, and so when it slides back in, I am going to put silicone along here as well. I'm also going to put silicone along here and on those, obviously. So when I put it all back together, there's no way possible that it can come back apart again. Okay, I can't show you, but now that's all cleaned up along there, what I did was I put this window back in place just to make sure that it slid back into this runner here nice and smoothly, and it did. It's ready to go. So I'll get the silicone on, and yeah, we'll put it back in. Okay, that's ready to put the glass to go back in. So I've put silicone inside there, so be mindful when this pushes back in, silicone is going to squeeze out. Probably better off just letting it dry to pull it away. Don't try and rub it off, because it's just going to go everywhere. But so when I slide that back in, that's going to be all nice and tight there. That's going to flatten right out. I don't need to cover the whole thing, because once that goes back in, gets pressure, that's going to flatten right out in there with the silicone that's already on the glass. I went over the whole rail simply because this looks like it's been like that before. So once that goes on, that should flatten out as well, and in 3 days it'll be right to go. And don't forget the side rear demister. You need to just pull that cable off like that before removing the window. Same deal again, just because it's just me, I don't have anyone to push against the glass while I put that screw back in. So duct tape back on, screw back in. Now I can take the duct tape off. I was lucky that the silicone didn't press out on the outside, so I don't have anything to clean except for a little bit on top there, but it doesn't need to be cleaned, it can stay there. So that's a nice smooth install, and in 3 days, so the silicone is nice and hard. You can open it after 24 hours, but it takes 72 hours for this silicone to be 100% dry, so I recommend don't open it for 3 days, and then she's good as new. Okay, well that's done. Now I'll just wait the 3 days before I edit this video, so I can show you his opening and closing as well. Okay, so windows all working now. It's 3 days later. Open and close it a few times, no more problems. So we're done. Alright, well till next time guys, cheers.